All right. I'm so happy to be here.
You recording now?
Yeah, man. I'm recording now. Now it's recording. I'm saying,
Okay.
you see the red button right there. Yeah, I'm here with my boys, man. I'm just so happy. First day of the year.
That's how we starting the year, huh?
You know what I'm saying? We're down here. I'm just excited, people. You know what I'm saying? This is let's see where it goes. I'm here with Mo
Hello.
and Gene.
What's up?
Little quick story. When I was thinking about the podcast, those are the two first people we talked about. We had to have our own segment, which is it's gonna come. You know what I mean? And today we're here, man. I'm just happy to be with you guys. Like first day of the year, guys. How you guys feel?
You want to go or you?
Man, I feel great.
Mm.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful I'm alive. I'm thankful that I made it through another year. Yeah, I'm thankful to God. Man, I'm excited about what 2025 has to offer. And I was talking to a friend recently, and I was saying that I want 2025 to be the year that I walk in faith.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Nice. How about you, my man? What up, boy?
I mean, for me, honestly, 2025, I think it's a year where I would say, be more serious,
Mm.
be more committed to things, and um, grow in faith. I think growing in faith, I mean, for me, that's every year. But more so, I think now, even, just with the fact that where I'm at in life right now,
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the biggest thing that stands out is commitment, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Me, it's gonna be like, even be a little bit more consistent. And it's just funny because I was here with my brother Gene in this same space a few months ago. He put up a Google sheet for me, trying to
Work it, man.
trying to get me to be on that. Because I have to recognize, like, I've been someone who I don't plan a lot. I like to go by how I feel, and because I just feel like I like to create, so I go really with that mindset. I don't plan a lot. It's like boom boom, but I realize there's a lot of benefit in planning. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the few past months I've been trying to work on it, but 2025 I'm gonna even up the gear in it. Try to be a little bit more organized, plan things, and yeah, I'm excited for this year, man. I'm really excited for this year.
We all growing up. We're
Yeah,
growing up.
yeah, for sure, for
Sounds like
sure.
you got big plans for 2025, man. All I gotta say is when you make it, don't forget about
Hey, all I want is 20%.
That boy went for 20. Hey, I have a question though. What are some tools that we all learn in 2024, or things that we learned in 2024 that we can use as a tool to make 2025 like better? What are things that?
I mean, I can I can say for me is learning to see failure as see failure as lessons and not
Mm-hmm.
so much of like because you failed at something, therefore it's not meant for you or like you should just give up on it,
Yeah.
you know? And instead of like, okay, things didn't work out, looking at it and saying, okay, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? Or is this something I'm willing to just continue to strive for?
Yeah.
And this is where, like I said, like for me this year is commitment.
Mm.
Like you have a passion, desire to do things, but you don't see results. And sometimes you can see that as failure and think, okay, maybe this is not for me because things aren't going so well for me.
Yeah.
Instead of just seeing, okay, what are some things that I need to improve on? What's working, what's not working? And, like you're talking about planning, I think planning can come into that as well, too. Just writing things down. I think that's very helpful. So for me, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
that was good. For me, I think it's having a great morning routine.
Mm.
I think that,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I started implementing a good morning routine in 2024. I think it's changed a lot
Mm.
about me, and it's helped me in some of the goals that I want to reach.
Yeah.
And just to share, like one of like the first two main things that I kind of think about planning my perfect day,
Uh huh.
and then as much as I can to make that happen, I think it helps me reach certain goals that I have.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
part of having a perfect day for me is number one, waking up at like 5:30 every single day, and after I wake up, after getting ready, the very first thing that I want to do is I have on my calendar appointment with God.
Mm.
So I think like starting the day with my appointment with God about 5:45, spending that time in the Word, praying, that really has changed my life because I get to really talk to God about some of the things I want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And the more that I talk to God about, God, give me the wisdom to be able to, gain the skill to do this thing today,
Mm.
or to be successful at this thing today, or to be able to do this or do that, it works. I feel like if God is on your team, you really can't lose.
Yeah.
And
Love
after
that.
I spend time with God, the second thing that I do is go on a morning walk.
Mm.
Like some days it doesn't happen, but that I think that's the standard for me. If I spend time with God and I go on a morning walk, I'm starting the day very well and things go smooth. And I'm in a space to give to other people
Yeah.
because I've taken the time to receive some from God.
Nice. Yeah. I'll join you on that morning routine because, uh, like I'm a morning person. Like that's one thing that I start learning even better about myself. Like as years are going, it's like knowing how my energy worked throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like that's just my own opinion. I feel like when you know how your energies really like work throughout the day, then you can set yourself for like a great day. You know when your energies are at the peak, you know when your energies are low. So when you know those things, don't try to put on your calendar some high intensive work on the time where your energy is the lowest, then
Mm-hmm.
you're never gonna produce any type of good fruit, you know.
Hmm.
So and I know that I'm a very I'm a morning person. When I wake up with a lot of energy. You know, sometimes my friends even ask me, "Why you wake up with so much energy?" I wake up, I'm just like ready to go, and so the morning routine is very important because I feel like okay, anything that I want to achieve that are very important to me, I have to start planning them
Yeah,
there, you
yeah,
know, where it's like time with God.
yeah,
Start with that. Like that's for me. I'm talking about myself. That's something that I'm gonna even try to go better. We talked about it 2 years ago, even last year. That,
yeah.
that 5 a.m. I don't know. There's something about 5
Yeah,
a.m., bro.
there's something.
When I was doing it, like I just felt different. The day was just better for me. But then I slacked off of it,
Yeah,
you know. So that's something that I have to pick up again. That 5 a.m. time with God. Uh, get back into into proper exercising
yeah,
because for
Yeah.
me exercising I just put everything in soccer. I'm
mhm,
like you know what, 5:30 I'm gonna go play a bunch of soccer and that'll be good, which yeah, it's keeping me good, but I feel like having a proper routine, like stretches in the morning,
yeah.
going for a little run, a little walk,
Hmm.
something like that, it doesn't take away the soccer because I feel like when I go to soccer, I don't even stretch that much. I
Yeah.
just get in there, start playing, and I'm not getting younger. So to prevent the injuries and all that stuff, I have to have like a proper exercise
Yeah,
routine.
yeah,
That's something that I'm gonna be implementing. And I said before, and just being like just plan more.
yeah,
That just plan more, knowing how to funnel everything into my days. But that's something that I learned. Couple, like I said, few last month, I felt like I started applying like that rigidity into my plans,
yeah,
and he made things work easier and better,
yeah.
and you can really see the fruit of it. So that's something that I learned that I was lacking and I was struggling in 2024 that I'm gonna have to do better like
Yes.
in this year. So
Yeah, and
yes.
it's okay to have a good planning system, and I think a lot of people may think like, oh, you plan every single thing, but if you plan every single thing, there's also room for flexibility too.
Yes,
If
sir.
something comes up, it's okay for you to change certain stuff,
Mhm.
but it also allows you to get back on the road towards the things that you want to achieve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And this is not like a typical podcast where I'm just asking all the questions. You guys are asking questions too. You know what I'm saying? Because like we talked about just sitting in a space, we always have
Yeah.
things to say. So
Yeah.
we always have great conversation, and I just want to be able to share that with the world.
Okay. I mean, since we're talking about the new year,
Hmm.
what are some of the major goals that y'all trying to aim for in 2025? If you want to talk about that.
Gene, that's a big question.
Yeah, man.
I'll go. I'll go this year. I want to. I want to solidify this creative space that I'm into. So what do I mean by solidify? Like I really wanna have something concrete that people can see and be like, okay, I really build a platform. And it doesn't necessarily mean like bunch of followers, whatever, but like to do something that's is very impactful, but not just on a short span, like the entire year. I want to be able to impact from January to December. You know what I'm saying? Like every month to do something that is like a stepstone. Like okay, in January we felt Gideon, he did this.
Mm-hmm.
In February we saw you, you did this. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like uh, God has given me the talent to do music or even to create stuff, but I feel like lack of planning again or not just being consistent. It's been times where really in front of people. People can see what's going, and then I just disappear for like another 4 or 6 months. People don't even know, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So I really want to be, I really want to be like disciplined, and yeah, every month to have like a stepstone or something.
Yeah, man, that's good. Discipline is like,
Oof.
yeah, that's a main one for me as well too. I think to be disciplined. I think we all have ideas and we all have things that we want to do, but if you don't have discipline, you're never going to accomplish those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you talk about like being consistent with doing things, I think that's for me as well too. I think building something, right? For those that don't know, I play soccer. You both know this, but for those watching, probably. And coaching for me is something I really want to do. It's something I have a desire and a passion for.
Yeah.
And I think this year is to ground myself into building something in that environment, where there's coaching a team or doing private sessions with kids, because I enjoy doing that, and also just enjoy seeing kids grow and just become you know good athletes, and not just in terms of like the sport, but the mental side of it as well too. Learning how to control emotions when you lose games, or like the referee makes a bad call. I mean, we're all athletes here. We struggle with that sometimes. Gene
Yeah.
probably not. He's the saint of went to his basketball game, and this guy, he's if anything he's on his team. He carries the team. Like, hey, back off from the ref, man. He made the call. It's all good. So I need people like him on my team. But so yeah, so that, and with music, just being a little more consistent, very engaging on social media. I think
Yeah.
I've always had this fear of social media. It's
Yeah.
like I don't want to, I feel like that old guy, the 65-year-old guy that's like, nah, don't mess with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The devil's in it, and you
Mm.
know, but just using it in a way to have impact,
Yeah.
right? Whether it's like you know showing some skills or showing some things that can be helpful to other people,
Mm.
right? Sharing knowledge and things like that. So it's things I really think this year I really want to discipline myself to do.
Mm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about you, Gene? You asking the question, you got to answer.
Man, dang. I gotta have an answer now. I mean, I think there are different layers of things that I want to, achieve or work on in terms of family. One thing that in 2025, I want us to have, more meals together,
Yeah.
me and my
Mm,
family, my wife and my kids. I think I really enjoy the idea of us having as many meals as possible,
Mm.
and I feel like if we don't have one meal together, then I'm not winning at life, basically.
Mm.
So
wow.
2025, I want us, if we can have at least one meal every day, that'd be wonderful. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, that'd be a check for me, a big
Yeah.
check.
Let me
That's
ask
So
something. Like, why? So for people who maybe may struggle with that, who want to do that,
yeah,
right? But like, here in America,
yeah,
everybody's working.
mm.
Mommy's working, daddy's working, kids are working, right?
it's a good question.
when there's not this possibility or flexibility to do that, like, I guess I'm just gonna, you give me kind of like how you try to make that happen,
Hmm.
because, you know, uh, you don't have to go into details
Yeah,
with
yeah,
your family,
yeah.
but your wife works and you also work, and like, how do you guys, how are you gonna try to make that like
Yeah, it's a good
a thing?
question.
Yeah.
I think I think it starts with the desire. I think it starts with the vision,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think there are always things that can come up that can get in the way of you doing certain stuff. I think after you have the intention of doing something,
Mm.
it's like it's almost as if there's a test that comes to
Mm.
see if you really want this to happen.
Mm.
So for me, I think it's striving to make it happen.
Mm.
Um, re re rescheduling things around or moving some things around to make sure that this thing happen. If it doesn't happen, going back to the drawing boards and figuring out how can we make it happen the next time.
Yeah.
Mm.
So without going into too much detail, I think it's for me it's just communicating with my wife. Like I think I would really want us to have at least one meal together, and her being on the same page. And 2024 we've had some breakfast together. We had to wake up early, so that meant waking the kids up at like 7
Mm.
before she leaves the house by 8,
Yeah.
and before I start work as well. So making sure I get up, help prepare a meal while she's getting ready, and then us sitting down and having this 30 minutes together. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I said, it didn't happen every single time, but I think it started happening more because I had the intention I communicated for it to happen.
That's good.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody has different layers
For
of things
sure.
that are happening in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say have the desire and
Yeah.
plan for it. And then if it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
plan again
And I
until you
mean,
find
Till
a
it
way.
works.
I agree, because it's
Yeah.
not just like you're having a meal with your family, right? It's not about just having a meal, right? It's quality
Quality
time,
time.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
You get to listen to your kids more. You get to know your kids more. As I
Mm-hmm.
feel like today we're so busy that I don't think we even realize that we're not even there for our kids. I don't have any kids, but not yet.
Yeah.
So like, it's something that I've noticed, at least,
Yeah.
like, we don't even see it as important anymore.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, as long as the kids are fed, as long as they go to school, as long as they have a roof over their head, then we're doing enough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the world is still influencing them. They're still going to school, being making friends, and you don't know who those friends are,
Yeah.
because you have no control over that,
Mhm.
and what they're being taught. So I think having meals together, I think, kind of like, you know as a family, it allows you to also see where your kids are at, what they're learning, and also you get to know your kids better,
Mhm.
and your kids get to know you better too as a dad, and
Mhm.
learn to open up to you as well too, because it's almost like you're creating that environment for that,
Yeah.
for conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, very important for sure. So
Mhm.
thanks. I'll put that on my notes.
Yes, sir.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. And other than family, I think another thing that I'm working on is I've been pursuing a skill that again, having a vision for the future is one of my vision for my family. Is I want to be able to support my family
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I'm able to retire my wife so that she doesn't have to work
Work.
anymore.
Yeah.
Big man.
So that's like a really big goal. I don't know when God's gonna allow this to happen, but I'm pursuing trying to master a skill that is able to generate the income for me to be able to have wifey be home and
Yeah.
have my girls be home, and with that it requires, like I said, having the intention. It requires sacrifice. There's some
Mm.
things that I have to
Yeah.
restructure, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm pursuing like mastering trading,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had success. It's been up and down, and that's something that I think has allowed me to become more disciplined. It's allowed me to become more consistent,
Nice.
and so many spiritual lessons in it. It's allowed me to grow as a man of integrity,
Mm-hmm.
connecting to the trading rules. So it's like it's almost as if trading is it's I guess it's a game of promises.
Mm.
So I have to keep promises to myself by following my rules. The more I keep those promises, the better I get.
Mm.
And I guess before I started trading, I thought I was like, I was good. I kept my word.
Mm-hmm.
whew. But once money's involved and
Yeah.
following your rules, it's different.
It's
It's
And-
like
Yeah.
there's another layer that you got to jump in terms of like if I say I'm gonna do this, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm growing as a man as I'm pursuing the
Yeah.
skill.
And you're not lying about the trading
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah,
yeah. Hey, look,
You tried.
I tried it twice. Twice. I was like, man, like it's like
Yeah.
a sport, bro. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a
you're
mind
giving
sport.
it everything. And I'm like, I'm doing music, I'm doing soccer, and now trading. I was like, I
Yeah.
can't do that. So Gene, when you master that,
Come on, man.
Like,
Yeah.
like I always told you, bro.
I'ma hit
I
you
was
up.
here.
I,
I was here,
I'm gonna
man.
hit you up.
Yeah.
I was
Funny,
here.
funny. We were talking about the actually just passed what's called like a it's sort of a challenge that I just passed a challenge on the 31st, and as of today, I got an email that my account is
Fully funded.
is funded, so I'm able to
Hey,
start
hey.
the year correct. Start the
We about to be
year
rich.
I'm
Ready?
telling you, we're about to make it.
Hey,
We're about to make it, bro.
we're gonna go to the Bahamas.
Nah, it doesn't work like that.
Oh, okay.
Mama, we made it.
So I have to keep being disciplined. I have to keep disciplined.
Okay,
I've,
okay.
I've had one of these accounts before, and I
Yeah,
kept it
that's
for like
that's
28,
cakewalk for him, man. I'm
28 days, and after I lost it.
Hey, don't worry. We will keep you accountable, bro. We're
I'm
not gonna
telling you,
let
bro.
you
Hey,
let
hey.
this slip away.
But I
'cause-
did get a payout though. I did
There
get
you go,
one
man.
payout,
There you go, there you go, man. We
Hey.
celebrate every wins, bro. We celebrate every wins.
So to me, it's just like whether I keep this account forever or it's another account that I lose. To me, I don't see it as failure because to me, failure is like you only fail if you stop trying.
Yep.
Oof, I like
And
that.
I'm going after this. I feel like that's something that God has put in my heart and in the path, my path to keep growing. And there's a lot of good that I want to do with it. And like the Bible talks about, that's another thing that I've had to like really think about having money and how that affects you as a believer.
Yeah.
And how you're supposed to interact with it.
Yeah.
But part of why I'm pursuing that goal is like, being able to take care of my family, but to be able to give as much as possible to other people.
Yeah.
Because I
Nice.
hate being in a position where somebody is in need of something, whether it's a car or something's going on. I want to be able to say, hey, here's the money. You don't have to pay me back. I want to give to you. Go take care of yourself. So that's why I'm pursuing that. I'm going to keep pursuing it.
We all need a heart like that, man.
Hey, for sure. No, talking about that's a great segue. Talking about money, and I love that the way we're even talking about faith and everything. So, as Mo pointed it, and you pointed it, we are married here. We're family men. We have our own families, and so you started touching a little bit when you were talking about your goals and everything. But I just wanted to ask, like, as a collective here, what will be our mindset when it comes to money this year?
It's a good question.
I want it all. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No.
He's clearly the clown here,
I'm joking. No, I'm kidding. I mean, if I could, I would. But joking. No,
that's a
I
good
mean,
one.
I think money is, before I used to think like you just work, you make money, and you just make decisions. But I think for me, it's important that I am educated on money because money is education, and I think a lot of us struggle with money because we don't have the education of finances, and I think the people that do, good or bad, I think, this is where we can look at some people and be like, man, how can they make so much money, or like they know the system or whatever. One thing I've come to learn is that they have the knowledge.
Yeah.
And today there's no excuse. There's books, there's the internet, like learn about money, and I've come to learn that money is a tool. It is a tool. It's about how you use it, and also learning your needs from your wants. A lot of us talk about like, oh, we're not able to save and things like that, but try to look at your bank statements. Like, where's your money going?
Going.
Know where your money is going.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
something I'm learned from my guy over here, the trading man. Uh, like learn where your money is going. I think
Yeah.
when you can see, when you can have a clear picture on that, then you can learn to manage money well.
Yeah.
And I also used to think, oh, you need a good paying job, which, you know, if you have if you have a job that pays great, like fantastic.
Great.
But if you're at a place right now where you're not making a lot of money as you would want to, just learn to manage your money.
Yeah.
You know, do you have to eat out 3 times a week? Just go buy a bag of beans and rice. If you don't know how to cook, go on YouTube, learn how to cook simple meals, you know. That helps save money. So, yeah, I think it's, I don't know if I answered your question,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
like I think it's very important.
Solid.
I think we need to be educated on money, and I think my views on money has changed to where I'm at this place, especially now being married. Like it has taught me about budgeting and things like that, which is still difficult for me
Yeah.
because I have to fight my own kind of like fleshly kind of like desires.
Desires,
You know, I
yeah.
like Chick-fil-A, won't lie.
The spicy deluxe.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I always tell people that's the only thing on the menu I see. If they only serve that, I'll be okay. You know what I
You'll
mean?
be good.
I mean, sometimes I go with the nuggets if I don't want to do too much.
Mm.
But yeah, spicy deluxe for sure.
Ooh.
But
All
anyways,
the way.
yeah,
All the way.
money, very important to learn that it's a tool and not like. Because I also like what you said about giving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think money is a tool. By tool, I'm also saying like it's not just a tool for yourself, but for others as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's like, you know, very few of us think like that, where we think about other people.
Wow.
And I think when we think about money, a lot of times we're thinking about
Get.
or
Yeah.
like our vision, right?
Mhm.
I want to have a house,
Mm.
want to have, you know, wife wants to retire. Not that it's a bad thing, but if that's the main focus, then it's almost like money is just really for yourself, right?
Yeah,
But it's like God has called us here to be a family, a community.
Yeah.
So if there's a friend or family member in need or like a homeless person, you know, like you have the tools, you have the money to help them as well too, because we all need each other, man.
Yeah.
Things are pretty
Rough out here.
rough out there, you know what I mean? Like not everybody has an engineering job, you know, and we all need each other. I
Yeah.
mean, we need that person working at Chick-fil-A to serve us food, you know.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know, so you know, treating them with kindness and also using money to help each other, so like we can all be functioning in those areas where because we need all of that, you
100%.
know. Having a job at a fast food is not a shameful thing. It's not a
not.
bad thing,
It's
you
not.
know. It's like so I don't think anyone should be ashamed. If you want to inspire to be more, for sure that should always be the goal, you know, but you shouldn't be ashamed of where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I see money as being a tool as well. What I've learned over the years is basically there's certain things that I try to do. No matter how much money I get, I think it's I guess in budgeting,
Mm-hmm.
I separate. There's a portion that I'm always going to give in my paycheck. There's a portion that's going to pay all my expenses. Rent,
Rent,
food, and every gas,
Utilities.
utilities, and everything that you need. And there's a portion that I'm also starting to invest. Part of the investment is like small portion is like whether it's like the subscription for my trading accounts, whether it's putting some in a different account. And I think I used to think that whenever I get money, it's just to pay bills.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to shift my mind to see that, in giving and investing, a portion of that money is very important that we're able to make it multiply.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're able to do that,
Yeah.
we got something growing on the side. So that
That's-
allows us to do more for ourselves, one, and to do more for other people as
Others.
well. And I love that you talked about we needing each other, because I think a lot of people may think, or I used to think that, oh, I need to make it big in order for me to impact somebody's life.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I'm learning that you can impact somebody's life with $10, $20,
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah.
You look for those opportunities where you can give.
Yeah.
Like people are always in need of something, and you just gotta look for the opportunities
sure.
within your community, within your circle, and talking. There's always an opportunity. You can do big things with a small amount of money.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've seen that recently where I helped out a friend, and it started a ripple effect where it was the first time somebody had given to him something that he needed at the time.
Wow.
And the end of 2024, he talked about, I used to think that I need to go out and get, but now I've learned that, when I give, I feel like more fulfilled. So
Mm.
he just started giving.
Wow.
Yeah, he just started giving. We've been on a couple phone calls where he just keeps telling me like, "Oh, I had another opportunity today," and I just
Wow.
love seeing that. So
Yeah,
we don't know the impact that we're able to do with a small amount of money.
for
That's
sure.
good, man.
Yeah.
And it's funny even you say that because there've been some research that shows that the middle class
Mm-hmm.
are the class that gives the most.
Mm.
But if you look at it, it's kind of the class that should be needed more because they're like right there in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
They don't receive as much help as they should, because they're like, okay, you make just enough for the government to be like, we ain't gonna give you anything, but you just make just enough for the tax people to be like, well, we're still gonna tax you because you're making this amount. So
Yeah.
like you're right there. That's is the working class, the where you have all this pressure, but it's been studied that it's the class that they give, they like to give, and I think there's power to that, when you're able to give, like you shouldn't just ex you know give it and be like, oh, I'm expecting to come back, but just know it's gonna come back. Like
Yeah.
the
Mm,
good
yeah.
that you
Yeah.
do to people in this world, it's gonna come back in a way or another.
Yeah.
And I love so I'm gonna talk for my own like this year. Yes, yeah, I want a lot of money for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I want a lot of money, but
Don't let
why?
don't let the saints hear you, man.
But just to join both of you guys, it's because we had that talk even when we came to your place. I just feel like there's this just this need that I have in my heart, and this want and need of helping, first of all, the kingdom, like putting people who are working in the kingdom in spaces or in states where they can even do more with their time. And I feel like money is a tool that can help doing that. Um, Once also you talked about the educational side. It's funny enough because yesterday, so this story is crazy. So where we're taking the trip to the vacation that I took with my family on the airplane from here to Charlotte, because we went from here to Charlotte and then from Charlotte to Jamaica. So there's this lady who was just captured by the way me and Anna and the kids were like conversating in the airport, and then she heard Timothy was talking to me about music, and she was like, "Oh, you make music? Are you a creative or whatever?" And she was like, "I can we exchange number?" She's an older lady. She was like, "Can we exchange number? Because I wanted to talk to you about something." I don't know what she wanted to talk to me about. I asked her, "Are you into music too?" And she was like, "No, no, no. But I just wanted to talk to you about something." Long story short, turns out she's a financial
Advisor.
advisor,
Oh wow.
and then she gave me like I didn't know that's what she does. I didn't know what would that Zoom call be about. But yesterday she gave me like me and Anna like an hour and a half like presentation of how you should use your money,
Mm.
like where to put it for the money to grow.
Oh.
What like yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy. And then some of the things like I knew kind of because like I've been in this journey to just know, just like you said.
Yeah.
But sometimes you sit down and you be like, how people are able to make that amount of money? Not just because I'm greedy, but I want to know,
Yeah.
like, what are they doing? Because some of them, when you look on the surface, it's like they're not doing much.
Right.
But what are they really doing behind the scenes that makes it happen? So you need to know how money works,
Yeah.
Because a lot of us, like middle class, just like you said, you think that I'm working to pay my bills.
Mhm.
I'm working to take the money, put in a bank, and then I take it, pay my bills, but no,
Yeah.
like money, you there's a way to make money work for you,
Yeah.
like get
Yeah.
to where
Yeah.
money is really working for you. So
Exactly.
I always had those questions, and yesterday she was explaining to us, and she was really being vulnerable and showing us like how the bank where we put our money, they do those things to
Yep.
make their own capital
Yep.
grow. Like so they use your money to make their own capital grow.
Yeah.
And then she was like, why not growing your own capital on your own? You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying? Because that's how they take your money, they make it grow, and then they give you like 0.01%. You know?
Pathetic.
Banks, y'all need to hear this. Y'all need to stop.
But that's why I was like, yeah, that educational part, and this year it's that I talked to my brother Gene, like I was into the market space 2 years ago. I learned my lesson. You know.
The market humbled him.
I mean, it will humble you, man. I
Yeah.
think everybody has that experience with the
Yeah,
market.
for
But
sure.
Exactly. So
Sure.
then I just quit, but I raged out,
Yeah.
and I was.
I don't want to know how much you lost, brother, because it sounds very painful just by you saying that.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
But I was like, you cannot just run away from things. You learn from them, and then you try to find how you can be better. Just like you say, you lose only if you stop trying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I
That's
was
true.
like,
Yeah.
so the time that I took off was to really prepare my heart and just prepare also my mind about the money thing.
Yeah.
Because the market sometimes when you get in there, when everything is going up, you think that things are just gonna keep going up. Yeah, you gotta have discipline.
Yes.
When to say like, I want enough, I can step out. You have to learn that. So so yeah, things like that, getting back to the market, getting that educational just to know where to put your money, how to allocate it, what to do with it. So yeah, this year is gonna be a lot of that being smart with my money, like really learning how to make my money working for me and not against it, not be slave to it, and most importantly,
Tell us,
regain back my time. We talked about it.
Yeah.
man.
Regaining back our
Whew.
time.
That's a big
Man.
one.
Bro, things like trading, things like knowing just how to make money work for you, I feel like you are getting back your time. And
Yeah.
that time you can do things with family.
Yeah.
You can build things. And I feel like a lot of us, we don't get the chance to do these things with family. It's not because we don't want to, but we haven't worked our mind frame around other ways to make like money works for us. So we are working for money, and because we are in that trend of like you are giving 8 hours of your day already to work, 10 hours, 20 hours. But did I say 20 hours? What is 20 hours? I wanted to say 12 hours.
Look, man.
Hey, it's a new number. 2025.
2025.
Gideon
man.
just came up with a
Bring
new
all
number.
types of things.
You give all these hours, you're human. By the time you're done with that long day, you're tired. You want to spend time with, but you're just tired. You
Yeah,
think, let me
that's
eat
real.
and let me go sleep because tomorrow we're back at it again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's how to regain that time. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and gaining time doesn't have to look like, you just don't work anymore,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think it's about just, I mean, you can still work, but it's still important to know how to make money work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Wife gets pregnant, maybe your job is only giving you what? How much? How long do they give?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yay, guys, we need to do better. But yeah, okay. Your job is giving you 2 weeks off to take care of your pregnant wife or after she gives birth, but we all know like 2 weeks is like 2 days, bro. Like
Exactly.
It flies.
it flies,
Yeah.
But if you have money working for you on the side, maybe if you have enough. Obviously, I'm not saying just make that decision, but like if you have enough to say, okay, you know what? If my job's not give it to me, we have enough saved. That's going to take it for the bills. Maybe I'll take 2-3 months, off,
Mhm.
and then I'll apply for another job when it's time to go back. But again, not everybody is in a situation like that. But these are good things to think of,
Yeah.
because some people want to succeed in corporate,
Mhm.
and it's not wrong, but you don't want to have kind of like your job have full control of your life. You also want to have some control of your life as well too, especially with time.
Yeah.
Because I've been in jobs where it's like you're sick, but they still want you to come in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Family member passed away, you got to attend a funeral, they still want you to come in. Like they're like, hey, that's not our business. You got to come into work. And I'm feeling like, bruh, did you buy me somewhere? Like, I know I'm working for you, but it's like, this is a legit reason for me not to come into work, but you still want me to come into work. So it's situations like that where I'm like, it's very important that we educate ourselves. So, after this podcast, Gideon, you're going to share that knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Of course,
cool.
man.
All right.
Hey,
Just
yeah.
making sure.
Yeah, my people, man.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's what you said is very important about educating ourselves. And as you were talking, it made me think about time management.
Yeah.
Mm.
We all have 24 hours. We all have
Sometimes doesn't
24
feel like
hours.
it though, but yeah.
Nah, you got more. You got 26. No, I think it's very important that we really watch what we're doing with the time that we have. Because sometimes I hear people talk, "Oh, I wish I had more time," but really, if you take the time to see where all your 24 hours is going, you will see some pockets of where you may not be using your time wisely. And I think when I started doing that, that helped me a ton. Really taking the time to use a Google Calendar and saying, oh, these are the times I'm blocking out for sleep, and this is the time when I wake up and do this. It takes a lot of time to do it, but once you get that done and you start to get those notifications, it helps a lot to kind of gauge you, to help you get back on the road, right?
Yeah.
And I think you know I used to spend a lot of time when I would come back, home from work, watching TV, and I think that didn't help me with my goals. So once I figured that out, I started really, blocking some time to, way back. I started doing, if I want to take this, let's say for example the trading thing seriously, I need to block out at least an hour every single day, or for me to consistently work and grow at this.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, we're all gonna start bad at whatever we're gonna do. At a point, I was really bad at basketball, really terrible. And
Hard
I
to
remember,
believe, but
I don't believe that.
yo, I'm telling you, it's high school, freshman year of high school, I was terrible,
wow.
terrible. But again, when you learn to use your time wisely, you can grow over time, and the more consistent you are, and it's something that could be really easy if you do one little thing every single day. And a lot of people sleep on that. The easy thing, it's easy to do, but it's easy not to do as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do something really easy that is going to push you, propel you towards something where you want to go, that thing compounds just like money we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Compound interest in terms of gaining certain skills and
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
And it will change your life. Consistency is really important, and time management, and really not letting things program us, because TV programming
Yeah.
is programming us.
For sure.
We love to talk about the drama that's happening in certain shows, and not that I'm saying that it's ever bad to watch a little TV or something, but if we're taking a lot of time to consume other things and we're not producing and helping ourselves grow, and we're not using our time wisely. We may not be using our time wisely in order to reach goals that we want to achieve.
And can I say something?
Yeah.
With the whole TV thing, I'm gonna drift off a little bit here. Usually now shows like TV shows are like an hour long, but the difference is, when you work for an hour, it feels like an hour.
Yeah.
But when you watch a show for an hour, it does not feel like an hour.
Yep.
It just feels like it was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So you don't really feel like I just wasted an hour.
Yeah.
It just feels like I can watch this whole season.
Yep.
Like, I mean, how many of us, have binge watched like a whole season of
I'm guilty.
of a show? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like it took much of your time, but it really does. Like, I mean, that's where the programming comes, right? And if you look into the studies about what TV does to your brain, and it's basically hypnosis too.
Yeah.
So you're hypnotized, right? So when you're hypnotized, you don't have full control of yourself, or you're just not also
Stop
aware of
thinking.
everything that's happening. So, I mean, that's a whole, different thing. But, just kind of like, speaking about time, I think it's very important that we take time to really understand where our time is going,
Yeah.
and also making time to rest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially in a country like this where work. I mean, everybody works. I could have never imagined someone could work 60 hours, but I used to also do that.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, man, I get home, my body just wants to go to bed. But I still want to train. I still want to do music, but my body doesn't have the energy to do that.
Yeah.
So finding time to rest is key, man. You need to recharge, and do things that brings joy that gives you life, And so, yeah, I mean, manage your time well.
For sure, man. I know I'm sitting here with two godly men. So, as far as disciple making, 2025, what are some of your strategies in disciple making?
Yeah, that's not a question for me.
We're gonna challenge you, Mo. 2025. This is your year, brother.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
look, I'm being discipled,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
so I'm in this position where I'm learning a lot about myself,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I'm also learning what it means to disciple someone. So personally, I don't feel like I'm in a position to. Now, I may do it in a way where I'm not even noticing his
Unbeknownst to
discipleship.
you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but honestly, I'm not in a space where I think about discipling somebody else.
Hmm.
If I can be honest,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like I mean, obviously, we're never perfect, but I'm just in this place where I feel like I need to be discipled.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm just in this place where I just don't know if I'm ready to disciple
Yeah.
somebody. Yeah.
I think that's all right,
Yeah.
and I think maybe it's 6 months from now or at the end of 2025 where you'll be in a place where you're able to use what has been given to you,
Yeah.
the information that you were given while you're being discipled to find at least one person,
Yeah.
one person, and one thing that I've, you know, we've done in the past,
Mm-hmm.
I had like a couple group of guys that came to our house to to learn the word and be discipled and to share overall a lot of those different principles that I've learned throughout the years, to just share and to help them, whether it's financially, but especially in a spiritual way.
Yeah.
Talking about the Bible. But as far as 2025, one of the main things that's been on my heart is I love. I'm learning to. I play basketball and I've had opportunities to coach as well, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning to grow as a coach, and I'm finding myself really loving pouring into the young guys that we're able to
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
And so I want to look for those opportunities where I'm able to pour into those young men, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's taking some of them one on one or even during the huddles. I know one thing that I love with our program is that we're able to, pray with those guys and talk about Jesus
Yeah.
before we,
Nice.
just
That's amazing.
go on the court. So continue to do that, having a time of prayer before a game, after a game, whether we win or lose, we're able to do that. Talk to them about different things that they need to learn as young men. That I'm seeing that with the even with the game of basketball, it teaches. We're able to use that to teach them about life. And last game I was talking to them about how even in the game basketball, you see responsibility in it. Whether you have, if you're responsible to grab rebounds, you're responsible to, make good passes. You're responsible for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same skill that you're going to use as young men, whether you have a family, whether
Yeah.
you have a job, and so on. So making those connections, and so like I said, getting that time and looking for opportunities to make time with them one on one,
Yeah.
to keep talking about those things and getting it back into the word.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I'm looking forward to. And as far as family wise, I think I've also started to have some discipleship time with my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
coming over on a Sunday evening, we just get into the word
Mm-hmm.
and seeing that he has the hunger for it.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, and it also helps me grow as well. Discipleship is not just one way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to grow as well.
Exactly.
You get to be disciplined. You get to be consistent. You get to see where you are as a man,
Mm-hmm.
so that whenever you're pouring into other people, it's not just going one way.
Right.
You also get
Yeah.
something as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, man. And just to get back to what you were saying, I feel like you know, there's the active part of like discipling someone and
Yeah.
pursuing to start to disciple someone, but I think it starts from the disposition of your heart. Like if
Mm.
you want to be a disciple maker,
Yeah.
like for the Lord to use you as a disciple, that's where it starts. And then, just like you said, sometimes you can be discipling someone unbeknownst to you. You know,
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
getting disciple yourself. You are living that out in, and people around you, they look at you and
Mm.
they can get discipled that way, and they
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
come and ask you question. You know,
Right. Right. Right.
and it's not like you going forward and be like, you come here, be under my leadership, but you just
Yeah.
having that heart already. Oh Lord, I really want to be a disciple maker, and you pray about it, and just allow the Lord. And then some people can get to a point where it's clear to them that the Lord is giving you a mandate. Okay, you're gonna go and do this and do
Right.
that. So yeah, just yeah, just if
That's
it's here
good.
already.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Uh huh.
I mean, you just mentioned discipleship. What does a discipleship look like to you? Because I think it may be
Very.
different. Yeah, maybe different. Or what are some effective ways to disciple? You'd say.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, for me, it's like um I center it, like, when I the way I understand discipleship or discipling people, it's like just like the mandate that God gave us in the Bible. Go and make of all this of the nation disciple my disciples. So making people follower of Christ. So now the way I approach it, I like to approach it really to the relational part. I like to go and see people that I feel I can connect with them in different things, not just Christianity. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
most even important
Yes.
part,
Yeah.
to go to people who don't really know Christ and know God like that, right? But find like some center of interest that we have together,
Yeah.
build that relationship, be around them as much as I can, and pray that every single day that we're around each other, once again, that my life like start bringing them some questioning, like,
yeah.
why
Yes.
is this guy, he can hang with us, but he doesn't hang with us like that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how
Yeah.
can he be like this open, this free, like, and all that stuff, but he doesn't do certain things that we do, but he professes to be Christian, go to church and do all that stuff, but he's that cool, or he's just like, he understand, and those questions, when they come, that's when I can start opening more about the faith part and the faith journey, you know because I tried it before. I was until today I consider myself like a radical Christian, like an extremist. Yeah.
He said extremist. You Pharisee. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But like before, I let the emotion, because I feel like there's there's a caring part and an emotion that comes, right, when you see someone that you really believe that, bro, it's not a good way. That's really what you believe. That's a good. It's not a good way. It's gonna take you to a place you don't want to be. I used to run just with that. So my approaching sometimes was a little bit too hard. It's like, you gotta leave that. That's not good and all that stuff. And I feel like there's some space for it. And some people, that's how they like that abrasiveness and be like with them. But I figure out a lot of people, that can be a turn off.
Yeah.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
they want to see you genuinely like care for them,
Mm,
Yes.
you know, and that will open them up for a little more. So that's how I start operating more. Like, I just want to know you. Like,
Yeah.
just want to know who you are, like what you do and stuff like that. But it takes time,
Yes.
yeah.
because and one thing that I learned, and I talked about it with my wife and my sister-in-law. One thing that I learned, it's like, have an agenda without having an agenda, if that makes sense. Meaning, like, I know why I'm coming. I know why I'm caring about you. I really want you to come to Christ. But the way I go about it, it's like, ultimate agenda is for you to know Christ.
Right.
But at the same time, I want to know you. Who are you? Because that's how I can really get to a point where I can present you the gospel, in a way that you can understand. Not saying that I'm going to change the gospel, because that's not, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to change the truth of the gospel. I'm never going to change what the gospel is saying, but how to make, I won't even say how to make it palatable to you, because that can be also a little weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's not my job to make it palatable to you, but just knowing how to explain it to you for you to understand.
Yeah.
Like, how Jesus was using parables here and there.
Yeah.
It's like he knew these people, that's how they,
Make it relatable.
exactly. That's how they move, so I can explain it to them so they can understand. So that's a little bit my approach.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's almost like, the Bible says Jesus Christ knew our hearts, like he knows our hearts. So it's like
Yeah.
you're getting to know the person from their heart, because they're opening up themselves
Yeah.
to you, and that, gives you a segue to deliver the gospel to them, just based on,
Yeah.
it's not based on them, but just like the relationship.
Yes.
It's the
That's it.
relationship. It's the
Yeah.
relationship between you and that person.
Yeah.
And
Because when we were having the conversation with my wife and my sister-in-law, they were like asking, why sometimes, like, in some church settings or some church folks, like, they they feel like they push away people more than they draw them. And I was like, it's because, like, clearly sometimes people can just see you are coming with one agenda.
Yeah.
Like, you just want me to be Christian. Like you're not really trying to know about me. You don't want to have that relationship. Like you're just coming like I just want you to be Christian.
Yeah.
And then that's why I was explaining to them like that scare people, or it's a turn off, because people really want to know that why do you want me to be Christian? It should be because you care about me,
Yeah.
right? That should be the reason. It's not just for us to have more numbers, like to say like, oh, we have more Christian now in the world. It's
Yeah.
because you really do believe that there's a damnation and only Christ is the way, and because you love me,
Yeah.
you don't want me to be damned. You want me to be saved. That's why you want to bring me, But if you come off like, I just want you on my team, sometimes people are like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
So
That's good.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'd say my focus whenever I think about discipleship is, from what I look at the Bible is, Jesus is deeply relational. He
mhm.
talked about relationship
Mm-hmm.
and wanting to meet needs.
Yeah.
So whether it's physical needs, spiritual needs, and so on. So having also, it's like the third one is curiosity. Be curious about the person and
Yeah.
really care. Just
Mhm.
and seeing that I have a relationship with God, and I know that Jesus has done so much for me and has changed my life, changed my perspective, the way I do things, changed my worldview.
Mhm.
It helps me see the world differently. So out of that love that I've gained from that relationship with Christ, it really helps me think about other people more
Yeah.
and really want to meet their needs and want the best for them. I'm like, I just want to share what I got,
Mm.
because I feel like having that relationship with God is so good, and you just live in a way that I don't know. It's hard to explain in words, where everything, even though things may not go 100% well every single time,
Yeah.
but there's always hope when you
Yeah.
have a relationship with God. There's always hope. There's like this attitude that you have that it's hard to explain to the world, because
Mhm.
you may be two people, one who is is living with God, and one living without God, may be experiencing the same thing.
Mm.
But what I guess I've come to understand is that when you have God in your life, it's way better.
Yep.
Yes.
It's way better. Your
Yeah.
perspective is
Always.
better, and the way that you live
Mm-hmm.
is much more fulfilling, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I agree
it's
with
the
that.
truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
No opinions. It's facts.
You're right. You're right.
Facts.
They don't agree. I mean, they
That's
just
it.
don't agree,
That's
but
it.
it's facts.
Yeah. It is.
Sorry, guys.
It is.
Man, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. My last thing, though, that's my last question, and then you can ask whatever. But my last thing, it may be controversial.
Oh, here we go.
We may go against the trend of the times.
Oh, oh shoot. Oh shoot. Where you going with this? All right, spill the beans, man.
2025, guys.